Right. Okay, let's just dive straight in because, honestly, this headline, it's really something else. We're talking Bradley Cooper. Respected actor, director, the whole A-list package. And the story is he apparently thinks Ellen DeGeneres got a bad rap. And more than that, he's supposedly, like, actively helping with her Hollywood comeback.
Yeah.
It sounds wild, doesn't it? Welcome to Starscope Report. We're the place where we break down all the Hollywood drama, the music industry chaos, influencer scandals, basically getting into the real stories behind those headlines.
Yeah, and our mission today is really to cut through that noise. We need to look at the huge gap between this shocking rumor and what we actually know happened. The facts, our
Wow.
sources lay out the timeline pretty clearly, the whole 2020 scandal, the actual history between Cooper and DeGeneres, and the very calculated way her comeback seems to be unfolding.
Okay, so the core conflict here is it's pure Hollywood, right? Is Cooper genuinely stepping up for a friend? Or is this whole narrative just, a very clever PR move? And can a single photograph of free underwear, no less, actually be the spark for a massive career comeback? And maybe the bigger question is, why does Ellen seem to need Bradley Cooper's credibility to, well, clean up her image?
Exactly. And to figure that out, we really need to go back and look at what their relationship was like before everything fell apart. It was, for about 9 years, say 2010 to 2019, a pretty standard celebrity-host dynamic. It worked well for both of them, mutually beneficial, you could say. Cooper used the Ellen DeGeneres show all the time. It was a key platform, always friendly, always safe. He promoted The Hangover there, massive hits like Avengers, Endgame, even his big directorial debut, A Star is Born.
Right. But here's where it gets a bit fuzzy, isn't it? Because back in 2010, on his first appearance, Ellen specifically calls him her poker buddy. And that little label, poker buddy, it's just something more, right? Like they hang out off camera, they're actual friends.
It implies a personal connection.
But then you look at, well, the evidence. Almost all their interactions we saw were strictly promotional. Like that famous 2014 Oscars selfie. Cooper literally took the picture. That wasn't just buddies hanging out. That was peak Hollywood networking.
It absolutely was.
So was it real friendship? Or just a really good working relationship that helped both their brands? It's hard to tell.
Well, that ambiguity got put to the test in 2020. And this is a crucial point. Cooper's silence. When Ellen's career was, let's just say, imploding, when those really serious allegations were coming out,
Yeah.
a lot of other famous people actually spoke up for her. Yeah, Katy Perry, Kevin Hart, Diane Keaton. They put their names out there, publicly defended her.
They took a risk, basically.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
But Bradley Cooper, the supposed poker buddy, he was completely silent, noticeably absent from that group.
Wow. Okay. So that wasn't an accident, you think?
It really implies a deliberate choice. A calculation, maybe?
Yeah.
Protecting his own, carefully built, scandal-free image rather than jumping into the fire for her.
Which, okay, makes this current rumor that he's now jumping in to help with a comeback feel even stranger, doesn't it? It's like he watched from a safe distance while things burned down, and now, years later, when maybe the risk seems lower, he's stepping in. It just feels off.
It does raise questions.
And this brings us back to the core idea of the rumor, that Ellen just got a bad rap. We really need to push back on that phrasing. What happened in 2020 wasn't just bad press. It wasn't just, oh, she's a mean boss.
No, not at all. It was way beyond that. We're talking about documented systemic problems, institutional failure, really. It started with that big BuzzFeed News investigation in July 2020.
Right.
They talked to current staff, former staff, people who described a genuinely toxic work environment.
And toxic how? Like
Right.
what specifically?
Well, the allegations included things like staff being punished for taking medical leave or for bereavement days, plus reports of widespread racial microaggressions, apparently coming from senior managers. And while not every single complaint was aimed directly at Ellen herself, the reporting suggested she oversaw the culture where this stuff could happen, and apparently did for years.
Okay, and then it got even worse, didn't it? Because the next wave of reports wasn't just about general toxicity.
Right, that's when the really serious stuff came out. Specific allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment against 3 of her top executive producers, Ed Glavin, Jonathan Norman, and Kevin Lavin.
We should probably pause here because the details are important. Glavin was accused of unwanted touching. Norman faced allegations of grooming a former employee, trying to get them to perform oral sex. Layman also faced accusations of sexual impropriety. This is serious stuff.
Extremely serious. And this is the critical difference between just a bad rap and a full-blown corporate crisis. We know these weren't just whispers because Warner Bros. Launched an internal investigation. And what happened? All 3 of those top producers, Glavin, Lehman, and Norman were fired. Promptly, formally.
Okay, so the company basically confirmed the reports by firing them.
Exactly. That's institutional validation. A bad rap is maybe unfair criticism or gossip. Firing your top 3 executives over confirmed misconduct. That's admitting there was a massive internal failure.
So, back to the rumor. When it says Cooper thinks she only got a bad rap, where did that specific phrase even come from? Did he say it?
No evidence of that at all, that framing. It actually came from Ellen herself.
Ah, okay. How so?
Well, initially in her on-air apology in 2020, she sort of took responsibility, but then her story shifted. By May 2021, she started saying the attacks were orchestrated against her, and crucially that they were misogynistic.
Right. So she started framing it as an unfair attack.
Precisely. And this Bradley Cooper rumor, it feels like it's just taking Ellen's own PR defense narrative and putting it in someone else's mouth, someone very credible.
That's clever, isn't it? Because if Ellen says, I got a bad rap, you might think, well, of course he'd say that.
Self-serving.
But if the rumor is that Bradley Cooper believes it, suddenly the claim seems to have external validation. It makes her narrative seem more plausible, even if it's completely manufactured.
It's a classic PR tactic, laundering a defense through a respected third party. Okay, so let's talk about where this whole rumor actually seems to stem from. The physical evidence, if you can call it that.
Uh-oh, I have a feeling this is going to be ridiculous.
It kind of is. The only concrete thing linking Cooper to Ellen post-scandal is a single paparazzi photo from October 2023.
Okay, what's happening in the photo?
Cooper's in New York City. He's walking with Gigi Hadid. He's wearing sweatpants, kind of low slung.
Yeah.
And because they're low, you can see the waistband of his boxer briefs.
Wait, his underwear? That's the link.
Specifically, they're blue and neon green boxer briefs with the old Ellen DeGeneres show logo on them. You know, the free Ellen swag they used to hand out to guests years ago?
No, you're kidding me. We're talking about this whole comeback narrative because of a pair of old free boxers.
That appears to be the origin point, the single piece of data.
Wow. Okay. This is peak Hollywood analysis right here, analyzing celebrity underwear. But, all right, let's break down the possible interpretations, because this is wild.
There were basically 3 ways to look at it.
Okay. Theory 1?
The coincidence theory. Cooper once said he sometimes goes commando, right? So maybe fashion isn't top of mind. He got free underwear years ago, grabbed them from his drawer, didn't think twice. It means absolutely nothing, just laundry day.
Plausible. Okay. Theory 2.
The passive support theory. This one suggests it was deliberate, but low-key, like a dog whistle. He knows paparazzi follow him. Wearing the briefs is maybe a subtle nod to Ellen, showing personal affection, but without the risk of making a big public statement defending her.
A quiet signal.
Right. Low risk, potential subtle message.
And theory 3, which sounds maybe the most likely now.
The gossip mill theory. Basically, a paparazzi agency or an editor saw the photo. Cooper and Hadid walking isn't that exciting. But Cooper wears Ellen boxers. Now that can be spun.
Ah, so they manufactured the story.
Exactly. They took a mundane detail, old free underwear, and built this whole narrative around it. Political allegiance, helping with the comeback, turning nothing into an exclusive.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense than him orchestrating a comeback via boxer shorts.
Regardless of Cooper's underwear choices, though, Ellen DeGeneres is definitely working on a comeback. It seems very calculated, very planned out, like a 2-track strategy already in motion.
2 tracks? How so?
Well, track 1 is the public-facing stuff. This was the strategic retreat phase, moving away, supposedly laying low, but then carefully controlling the narrative herself, like her stand-up tour, and especially that Netflix special, Ellen DeGeneres, for your approval.
Right. That special felt very strategic, framing it as a farewell, asking the audience for closure on the whole scandal.
Exactly. It was an attempt to draw a line. Position herself not as someone pushed out, but as someone choosing to retire, seeking forgiveness through comedy, trying to neutralize the toxicity.
Okay, so that's track 1, managing public perception. What's track 2?
Track 2 is the industry-facing part, the actual professional relaunch. And this is where the retirement narrative falls apart a bit. Because in July 2024, despite saying she was bored and retiring, she signed with WME, a huge, powerful talent agency.
You don't sign with WME if you're planning to just stay in the countryside, right?
Not typically, no. That's a power move. It signals you're back in the game. And right after that, she started publicly saying things like she misses having a show, she's a little bit bored with retirement. It's basically putting up a flag for studios and producers. I'm available, I'm ready for work.
So putting it all together, the Cooper rumor seems totally disconnected from her actual comeback plan.
It really does. The timeline just doesn't fit. Cooper was silent when it mattered most. The bad rap idea is her own PR spin. And the only link is, well, the boxers.
Which was likely just a random detail blown way out of proportion.
It seems the most logical conclusion, yes. The rumor itself feels like a manufactured piece of the puzzle. A way to use Cooper's good name to make her brand seem less toxic, less radioactive, as she actively works on this industry comeback.
So, final verdict.
Yeah.
The claim that Bradley Cooper is actively vocally supporting her, there's just no real evidence. It's factually unsupported.
Correct. But, and this is the crucial part, the rumor itself is incredibly effective, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the scary part.
It's a perfect little case study in modern celebrity rehab. You need someone else, someone respected and untouched by scandal, to kind of vouch for you, even if it's just a rumor. It makes a damaged brand seem potentially viable again.
Which leaves you, the listener, with a pretty unsettling thought to chew on, doesn't it? If one single paparazzi photo of gifted merchandise, no less a pair of old boxer shorts, can be spun into an A-list rumor powerful enough to help launder a massive years-long institutional scandal involving serious misconduct, well, what does that tell you about the real substance behind all those other celebrity exclusives and scoops we consume every single day? How much is real and how much is just strategic underwear? You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.